Hameen Media Group presents your NXT Next Level Wrestling Review with your host, Big Ray and the Vet. So,
are you ready? We said, are you ready?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Next Level NXT Wrestling Review. I am your host, Jimmy T, filling in for Big Ray Hernandez, who unfortunately is not feeling too well, but hopefully he'll be back next week, which I'm sure he will be. But nevertheless, I am with also the opinion haver himself, the best in the world, Jimmy the Vet Williams. Welcome back to your show, Vet, and how's things?
Oh, just wonderful, lovely. Can't wait to talk about this double shot of NXT here. Big, but the not that's big. That's big coverage, big news, and not as big as our special guest today.
Absolutely not, because it doesn't get any bigger than this. He is Halloween Havoc. I like that. It is R to the B to the V, RBV. Welcome back to the next level. What's going on, Rick? We've done a trifecta.
I was going to say, this week, you and I, Jimmy, we have covered the blue brand, the red brand. I guess we did such a terrible job. They sent us back to development. We got to start from the ground up. And the only person that's really being punished is the head of the HMG PC, the Vet, because now he's got to coach us back up.
That's true.
Well,
that's true.
No problem. And but I mean, I got a head start because yesterday you also got a full shotgun blast of Rip Rogers to the face.
Yeah. I've got Ben, I've got the Vet, I've got Rip. I'm running the gauntlet here of masterclass 101 in professional wrestling here this week.
Absolutely. And I just want to give a quick shout out to the
I'm actually
chat.
getting a little too good to be doing shows with you, Jimmy.
I know. Jeez. What's going on?
Politics
indeed between me and Rick. I want to get you. Anyway. But in saying that, I just want to shout out the chat, of course. First of all, the big Gabagol up there in Mikey. You know, hopefully he's smiling down on us, and he's probably slapping all three of us at the same time. Nevertheless, man, hope you're doing well, my friend. And of course, who's this person? How do you pronounce this? Is it Sky Halo saying hi?
That's Scott Woodford, I believe.
Oh, Scotty Woodford. Well, Scotty,
yeah.
Come on, man. What is this? I was going to disappear, but it's not exactly him, so I won't. Also, I want to thank DarkState Castle for joining us, saying good morning, all. And of course, Alexa's back in the house saying hi, everyone. Hello to you. And of course, Zane Vicious, the master and ruler of, I don't know about the world, but I was going to say something else, but I better not. But thank you for joining us. Also, Cold Blooded is in the house saying morning, friends. And yeah, he also says the spookiest NXT of the year, pal. It is pretty spooky, absolutely. Well, folks, we're here to talk NXT, Halloween Havoc, and of course NXT. Now, like I was saying before we get into the news and stuff, I was kind of hyped up for Halloween Havoc. I know you guys probably don't feel as enthusiastic as I did, but as far as this week's NXT, I don't know, boys. I felt a little bit off compared to the PLE.
First, Jimmy, why? Before we jump in there, why were you excited? Where was the enthusiasm? Where was this fire lit inside of you?
Well,
Damn, I'm ready for some Halloween Havoc.
Well, technically, because I don't really follow NXT week in, week out, you know what I mean? It was something different to me. So not following what was going on the shows and whatnot, I could just go into it with just for the event only, if you know what I mean. So just judge it, but just watching a wrestling show and not knowing what was going on previously. So that's probably why. If I was watching a week in, week out, and then I went to watch this, then I'd probably have different thoughts. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a perfect show, but I enjoyed that it was different.
Burnout is real. So, you know, the more of this stuff you see, the less you want to. And I think that if people adopt a habit of just watching premium events and skipping the weekly TV, I don't know if you'd actually miss anything, because those premium events have now got so much downtime that they fill with the recaps of whatever you need to know before each and every match, So it's like, essentially you're not really missing anything, but you are like cutting down on some of your redundancy and burnout if you were to like only watch like these cards. So,
Sure.
that may actually be the smart thing for a lot of people going forward. That's, what you're probably going to see a lot of people doing, just by sheer virtue of the fact that we have more PLE hours now in a week, in any given week, than we used to have just regular wrestling programming content, Rick.
Well, I think, we kind of talked a little bit yesterday on I Like It Raw. There isn't an urgency. The weekly television isn't a priority where it's must see. And yeah, if you just tune in, because we're getting more PLEs every 4 to 6 weeks, one of these PLEs or Saturday night's main event type show. And like Vet said, they run the vignettes before the matches so you can get caught up, or tune in just to that pre-show. You're going to get caught up with all the vignette packages. And actually, when they do those, because production-wise, WWE, top-notch. I mean, one of the best in the game. It actually looks like a half damn good product if you just see it in those, 30 to 90 second clips, instead of taking your time each and every week and dedicating it to the 4.5, 8 hours of programming that you get.
Yeah, don't even get me started. Well, before we get into all that stuff, I think it's time for the 3 count.
This is the 3 count. With the latest breaking news in pro wrestling, sports, pop culture, and more. Now back to Big Ray and the Vet.
Well, guys, let's get into the 3 count. It is your weekly news segment right here on the Next Level. I didn't know that Mike Rotunda was actually pretty ill. I don't know if you guys did, but I actually didn't notice until just looking around Twitter, and I just noticed that apparently he's been put into hospice. Now, I don't know exactly what's wrong with him. No one's really come out and said anything, if there is anything wrong and whatnot, but ever since I hate to say this, and I'll start with you, Vet. Since Bray has passed away, it seems like he's just gone straight downhill, man.
Yeah, it's understandable. But you got more family, to think about, and I definitely hope that. I haven't heard anything. I don't know anything. This is the first I'm hearing of it, but he's not exactly a young man, but
No.
These things happen, and hope that whatever remaining years, whatever time he's got left, I hope it's as comfortable as possible, and hopefully it's he's got quite some years left, as long as it's not going to be like a long. Let's just say I understand what it's like to have family members that like last a lot longer than perhaps their shelf life. You know what I mean? For a comfortable life. So, I don't want anybody to have to suffer through their remaining years unnecessarily.
Absolutely, no doubt. Rick, anything to say about this? Did you hear anything about it?
No, this is one of those stories. I don't need too much information. It's something kind of private. You hear something like hospice, that's never a good situation. But I would remind people that there are different levels. So maybe it could be a long-term. This is something that he could have a turnaround with. Just shy of 70 years old. He was active in wrestling from the early 80s, like 81 to like 2017, 2018, something like that. It's a lot of bump card. So your body is going to have those wear and tears naturally. Obviously, yes, Jimmy, as you alluded towards, it's so devastating to lose a son in that fashion when he lost Bray. But as Vet's saying, there is other family. There are grandchildren, other children. that they want to keep him around to make those memories, and that he still has so much to give and so much great memories that he has given us as wrestling fans. And the majority of us, he did the great things there in the territories with the varsity club. Anything that he's done with WCW and WA, anything he touched was gold. But I think that talks to how great of a talent he truly was, just not a technician, but got the business, could get anything over. To get over something like IRS and provide us so many great memories of that speaks to the volume of what he contributed, how good he was in this business. Absolutely. And continue, hopefully has a lot more to keep giving back to us.
And that you reminded me of something, Rick, too, just by saying the bump card, like for all we know, I mean, you could be in care because you took a bump and you just can't care for yourself right now because you're injured or something like that.
Yes.
So it might not even be, something like a deterioration like that. It could just be something that, he's, unable to do the daily care and stuff for a temporary period. So let's hope it's something like that until we get more information.
Yeah, I was about to say, my grandfather just passed away. He was under hospice care for an extended time, exactly for that. Couldn't get up out of bed. His legs had swollen and all that. He couldn't walk. So he needed help with just those daily routine things. So yeah, hospice, usually you're closer to the end than, getting back out there. It does mean different levels of care.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Keep your prayers, for Mike. Obviously, the way I found out was I saw the WWE Hall of Fame and legend Leilani Kai actually posted about it, and it showed her sort of hugging Mike Rotunda, and she's devastated. So the news doesn't seem, really positive. But like you guys said, usually when they get put into hospice, it's towards the end. But you know what? Sometimes they do recover out of the blue. So, I mean, let's just, let's hope he does. But like I said, I don't know exactly what's wrong with him, but everybody have him in your prayers, no doubt about it. In other news, I mean, I don't want to say that anybody cares, but and I probably won't even ask for anyone's opinion, but apparently Blue Demon Jr., that is, was involved in a car accident, and he was pulled from an upcoming indie event. Like I said, I'm not even going to go and ask you guys for your opinions. Not like you care about Blue Demon Jr., but nevertheless, I thought I'd just pick this.
I mean, you don't have to say it like that. I mean, if he got in a car accident, we can at least give him some well wishes and some prayers. I mean,
the hell with that dude.
Now I feel like a prick. All right, fine.
Yeah.
See,
Blue Demon's over. Come on.
God damn it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of car accidents, and throwing out some positive vibes, they're a good friend of mine and making a lot of noise in the National Wrestling Alliance. Big Mama, former television champion there and tag team champion. She was in a big car accident yesterday, so I just shout out to her with some positive vibes so she can get back into the ring and get doing what she's doing here.
Well, I hate to keep on the negative stuff. Not that it's totally negative, but Abdullah the Butcher, we got some updates, and apparently he's recovering from his serious health issues and is actually in good spirits. Can you believe that? It seems like he's kicked out of whatever was going on there, and I mean, shit, I'm telling you, nothing will kill this guy, Vet. He will be around probably till over 100.
That's right. Whatever his issues were, he apparently stabbed him with a fork and dropped an elbow on it.
I mean, what exactly is wrong with him? Rick, do you know exactly what's wrong? Because it doesn't even say over. Oh, that's right. He had 2 strokes. That's exactly
I was going to say, just from looking at the wrestling style, the lifestyle of one Abdullah Butcher, I mean, how much time we got to talk about what could possibly be wrong with this guy? But hey, he's still kicking. He's still kicking out. He's still got some time left on that bump card.
Unbelievable. And I'm happy for him, man, because, the fact that he's, survived this long is just crazy, man. Let's see what else is
I think in honor of Abby at the end of the show, you should gig your forehead, Jimmy.
No thanks. That's all right. But you know what? I mean, shit. The fact, have you seen his forehead? Jeez. That's something else, man. Let's see if there's any other news that is worth talking about. Oh, Jesus. I mean, what's going on here, guys? But anyway.
What?
Well, get this. We're still keeping with hospital news, but WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi Underwent emergency.
Are we violating some HIPAA policies or something right now?
Why?
Why like, are you reading? Are you just hacking like some medical forms? That's all.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, man. But a lot of medical.
No, but Fightful Select.
You pay for that, by the way.
That's right.
You
That's
do,
right.
but not here. Not here. No, this is not from Fightful, but this is from Rikishi himself. Apparently, he's saying, well, anyway, Rikishi recently provided an update on Instagram, posting a photo of him alongside several members of his family, and stated that he was grateful to be alive following emergency surgery. He says, God is amazing, grateful to be alive. We share blessings today and forevermore. I'm proud of my boys, missing a few more. He says in brackets, stay safe, know there's more work to do. And now it doesn't state what's wrong with him, but apparently it was some sort of emergency surgery. But
he had to get emergency surgery after Jimmy lost on SmackDown Friday.
I don't want to laugh at that. Come on.
Come on.
He's got his grandbaby. His grandbaby's over there eating in the womb. His son's getting beat up.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, shit. No shit. It wouldn't surprise me at all, man. But that's funny. I will say that. Now, did you guys see the cryptic WrestleMania bullshit that was going on this week? How people think
commercial?
Yeah, for Vegas.
Yeah, I see the people freaking out about it.
People are trying to decipher this crap, guys.
What?
They're trying to
What are they trying to decipher? There's a handful of people at a poker table.
Right.
They've got one of the masterminds and the storylines there, and the head of the company.
And WrestleMania's in Vegas.
Yeah,
right.
And it has a gambling theme. They got the biggest stars in the company. I did see where people, your ultra smarks, are upset that everybody in the video is over 40 years old. There's no young talents, vet. There's no women. It's just these old guys. You're not making news. Get out of here with that. They're putting over the stars that the world are coming to see. That's why those people were selected for that.
Including Triple H, vet. Including Triple H, dead center of that poster, bro. Who is the real star, guys? I mean, is it Brock Lesnar? Is it CM Punk? Is it Roman Reigns? Or is it
Cody? Cody was there.
Yeah, Cody was there, but without chips. That's what people were saying. Cody had no chips. I swear to God. Everyone on Twitter, the sickos and the wackos and the nut jobs and whatever you want to call them, are literally all trying to decipher this WrestleMania poster and little video or vignette, whatever you want to call it. I'll say this. I think that was all AI done just quietly. It just looked a little bit funny. But everyone's up in arms also, vet, with Triple H being the star of this commercial.
Yeah,
I mean, does that make him this? I mean, I'm just saying.
You fucking mark!
I mean,
he's been the focal point since they took TKO Takeover. It's the same blueprint that they used with Dana White. People are just coming to this realization.
Well, to be fair, Dana White's not all over like the posters of UFC and shit. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just, you don't really need it. I don't think anybody would, if Triple H wasn't on the poster, I don't think anybody would ask where he is, but I also don't really care that he's on the poster. He's still Triple H. I mean, for all the shit people want to give him, I mean, he is kind of Triple H. So it's just another name to like remind people that, oh yeah, this guy, I remember watching him 20 years ago. Like if you're a lapsed fan or something and you're still trying to make sure that you're casting your wide net to catch your WrestleMania audience, make sure that you have people that people know.
Oh, before we continue on, we've got Scotty Woodford with the $1.99 super sticker. Thank you very much, Scotty. You deserve one of these ones, actually. There we go. You get the gong. He says, I want a GTA 6, not WrestleMania 42. So do I, as a matter of fact. I'm sure.
Well, you can have both. You don't have to. Have to choose unless. I mean, well, you might have to choose if financially, if you're planning to attend WrestleMania 42. You may not have enough left over for a copy of Grand Theft Auto 6, but nonetheless,
Sorry about that.
yeah, but nonetheless, they're giving you a hint. You know, you go to those tables and gamble and try to earn and try to win enough money to attend WrestleMania. Maybe you can upgrade to, the VIP package.
Jesus Christ. Well, DarkState Casa says, how about some Mortal Kombat? Actually, that's what you're doing later on today, right, Bet?
Like tomorrow.
Ah, damn it. I was looking forward to it.
Turns out that today is more like 9 p.m. Pacific my time, which is midnight Eastern time, which is technically tomorrow.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, it's available for me, Vet, just quietly.
Technically? Okay.
Technically, because I'm in the future. Maybe I could just send it.
Oh, they don't ban it in your country?
No. Oh, well.
All right. Enough of this bullshit. What else have we got?
You fucking... Oh, man, this is a great one.
Who else is hospitalized?
Please, I don't want to laugh at that shit, man. That's not funny.
That's fine.
Do you have any more headlines? Because I did have something I wanted to pick Vet's brain on.
There's really nothing really to talk about. There's really nothing.
I've wanted to ask this question to a number of pros, but I was saving this, especially I held it off with
best
Rip,
for last,
and I held it off with Rip and Ben because I wanted to ask Vet first because I believe that Vet he is probably the most down to earth, real deal dude that's been inside of the business of professional wrestling. So one of the stories that have been out there this week is a video, and some people are making jest of it, and other people are giving him props for it. But we've seen Marco Stunt has transitioned into a new career where he's going to be an automotive salesman. Now, give me, just your thoughts on the video and maybe his possible fortunes and his new career path. But I was more interested in kind of the mindset, maybe the difficulties of someone who's been in the spotlight. That's been so involved in professional wrestling, and like him or not, Marcos was at a top stage with AEW, got travel the world, got some prime TV time. So that transition and maybe difficulties when you leave that spotlight and have to go back to a real world job.
That's a good question. First of all, I didn't watch the video. I don't care. Second of all, I did talk about it. Jimmy and I talked about this on the wreckage.
I was kind of peppered in and out on the wreckage. I was at the track working, so I got some of it.
I basically said that, I'm happy for him that, he's got a job where he can, actually potentially do what he's supposed to do, right? Because he can't do that in wrestling. He sucks at everything. He sucks at everything. He can't, there's no promo. There's no skills in the ring. There's no height and size. There's no anything. There's not even a good look. Like he looks like I don't know. He looks much and he looks androgynous is what I'm saying. Like I don't even know what I'm looking at. It could just be a large doll for all I know. So it's like he really had nothing to offer the business. So I'm glad he's gone because he was wasting everybody's time and it was offensive. But like as far as him making having a legit job, I wish him all the best in the world. So, but to the larger question, it's definitely a transition. And well, I'm glad you put that comment up, Jimmy, from Artist, because a little bit bitter, like I'm not bitter towards like what I just said about Marco Stunt. That's just me shooting straight. Right. But I'm bitter because it's the idea that like, I at 6 foot, 190 pounds, right. When I was in my best shape, was being told I'm too small, you know what I mean? And then to have this fucker that not even good, have a career. But that was the gimmick. It was like a freak show gimmick, just like wrestling has always had freak show gimmicks, whether it's even stuff like wrestling a bear or whatever. Like I get it. Like I totally understand it, but it's hard not to have like a little bit of animosity. But even if I was just a fan and had never been in the business, I'd still look at this and like, what's going on here? you know, so just to set the record straight. But there is a transition of like back to civilian life, as we call it. And I wasn't even nearly in the spotlight that Marco Stunt was. And it still was just like, you know, having a regular job and just looking at people like just normal people and just like, you know, you get that feeling, you know, it's like that meme. It's like that meme of the, you know, the party where like these people don't even know I'm whatever, you know, like these people don't even know I was on a WrestleMania stage, you know, just me working my regular job, you know, and it's just like that. So like, that's one of the reasons why, you know, there's so many sad stories about what happens to people once they're out of the business or when the business is through with them for whatever reason, whether it's their own choices, whether it's just circumstance or whatever. So, but I think, I hope that, you know, he'll be able to, he's clearly using his sort of gimmick, like the fun size thing, right? Like he's using that. But if I had to guess, there's probably at least a part of him in those quiet moments that's just a little bit disappointed with how things turned out, at the very least, if not depressed, you know? So
I think we have seen that a lot of people, you know, the first one's the bad mouth when they get out of a big company, but they, you know, they're bagging, waiting for that opportunity to get back in. And they do struggle when they go out there. Like some of the known, you know, more known stories where fans really laid into guys that were at the top. Like I'm thinking like a Shane Douglas, I think, who caught a bunch of stuff because he had to go manage like a Home Depot or something. Or he went
but not only that, but Ric Flair had to go and take shots at him for getting a legit job, you know, which is uncalled for, let alone what the fans would say.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So you got people inside that should understand this, and now they're mocking it. You know, because he couldn't, you know, rise to the heights of a Flair or something like that. We know their history, but well, like the Jake Hager here, you know, he's left it behind and now he's running a trucking company and hopefully he can make that transition.
He seems bitter though, deep down. I think though he's just not saying it.
Well, it's what Vet was kind of saying. You know, there's some things there that leave you bitter, and unless you completely walk out on your own terms, you're going to have that a little bit.
Well, absolutely. I know I would 100%. You know what I mean? But like Vet said, even as a fan, like, how does Marco Stunt get into the business? But like you said, he's a freak show type of, you know, talent because he's so small and whatnot. But still, he has no right being in the pro wrestling business, really.
It's kind of interesting to me, made it you know, going through the depression and the challenges of leaving that spotlight, something you know, for most of them they had dreamed of, or you know, when they get in there, maybe they haven't, but they tasted that fame, and now you're average Joe again. I can see how difficult, difficult it could be.
You know, I, you know, even if I say so myself, I handled it well because I was more depressed at a point in my wrestling career because not so much because of anything about wrestling necessarily, but it's I moved across the country. I don't know anybody here. I hate this fucking town. I hate this fucking life. You know, like it in those moments where you're just all alone, you know, in your whatever it is, hotel room, apartment, whatever, like wherever you're at, and you're only here to do the one thing, but you have to wait until you can do the thing again, right? I didn't have training 24 hours a day. So it's like, so I have to be miserable in this shitty town, waiting for the next chance I get to do what I came here to do, you know, and those moments were more depressing than having to like walk away from it. Because walking away from it was my choice, you know, like unlike some people, the business wasn't necessarily through with me, but I never had the dream of being a pro wrestler. I always thought that was something other people did. I only involved myself because I wanted to help. Like I wanted to try helping somehow. I didn't know how, so I just figured, well, I'll just get trained and I'll figure it out. Like I'll figure it out. So I didn't have the dream that I needed to have that spotlight, that I needed to be, you know, in front of those fans and get that adrenaline rush. That all came to whatever degree that I experienced it, but that wasn't my ultimate goal. So it was easier for me to say, you know what? I think I'd better, for my own sanity, leave all this behind. Right. And it was only actually all these years later of like joining HMG, meeting all you guys, working with you guys, talking to you wonderful viewers on, you know, a weekly basis, if not a tri-weekly basis, you know, that gives me a more of a purpose for the wrestling business that, you know, than I ever actually had, that I was hoping I could affect change from there. Then when I realized, oh yeah, nobody's interested in ideas in the wrestling business, which, you know, everybody finds out, like eventually you all just find out, oh yeah, nobody cares about your ideas. They're just going to do what they're going to do. And then you all have to carve out your own path. So, you know, once I understood that, it became a lot easier to process the decision to walk away completely. So I'm actually having more fulfillment doing what I do now. And all I need is for more people to listen so that I can pass on the stuff that was given to me. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know, that's why all this stuff being here and available for everyone is so important, because any young wrestler could be listening. Any potential talent could be listening, and they could hear something that strikes a chord, you know, and that's the best I could hope for. It's not to go work for the company and try to change their mind. That's not how it's going to happen. I just have to be able to help people find their own path, you know, hopefully through this medium.
Oh yeah, man. So that's why I want to talk to you about this. That's the real deal. Awesome insight there. I guess real quick disclaimer though, some of those words are that of Just a Vet. They don't reflect Jimmy and I's and HMG. We don't want any heat with the Louisville tourist department. So yeah, Louisville can be a very nice town if you know where to look.
No, it can't.
Oh, Rick, you're a character, man. And Aaron Ben Shlomo says, Vet, if it means something listening to you talking about wrestling, helped me a lot during the war. I have the Vet, RBV, Jimmy, Ben, Brandon, and Ray, so I have a way to escape. So if it means, and I assume you're gonna say, oh, if it means something, thank you.
Oh yeah, yeah. Every one of you guys means something to me and to all of us. And you
Absolutely.
know, and then here you have Charles joining us. Hammer is joining us.
Hammer.
Oh yes, the Hammer's in the house. It's Hammer time.
A man I went to war with, and you know, like, so he can totally understand, you know where I'm coming from, or the idea that, like, you know, just being good and having something to offer don't mean shit in wrestling. Because there ain't no way anybody with a brain would pass on Charles Evans.
Exactly.
Well, that was that was one of kind of the messages in the recent Cross documentary or promo that you won that Scarlett was talking about. It's like, imagine going to a job and no matter how good you can get, you're not going to get a promotion. They are not going to take care of you. And that's the reality of going to a place like WWE.
And shit, now it's a reality of going to regular jobs in 2025, bro.
No, but it's sad though, man. It's bizarre and sad. And Vet, man, like, we appreciate you actually sharing that, you know, because that was some inside information on on Vet. I mean, because he never like talks personal, you know what I'm saying?
Well, some people know. Some people know if you've been listening for the past 4 years, but like we get new people all the time, and you know, like, I don't know who's heard what and whatever. So, or you forget. So, like, I don't mind every once in a while just sharing the lore.
No, for sure. And we've had this conversation before. I've known about it already as well, but the fact that you brought it up and you got a bit more deeper into it, like I said, I'm sure everybody appreciates it, because I know we do. As in all the family here at HMG, of course. And yeah, man, it is what it is, But you know what's fucked up? You need to somehow get into the business for your knowledge, man, because I'm telling you, man, like, it's priceless. But it is what it is. If you ever want to get into that, like, one day, that is, of course. But anyway, where were we? I mean,
I heard the bet's going to the NWA.
Actually,
most of my friends work here.
Actually, they do. It's true. Vet, actually, you heard about our very own Vinny Roo joining, obviously, JCW, as in Juggalo Championship Wrestling. He's a juggler. Does that make Vince a juggler now, guys? Did you hear about all the the rumors about him apparently joining NWA? And well, obviously he never said that himself. Actually, if people deciphered it, like I think you brought it up yesterday on Like a Raw, Rick, where you brought up how Vince said when I asked you what was said, because I wasn't sure exactly what was going on, that he said he worked with these people in the past. So how did everybody think of NWA?
They were just looking for, he said it was going to a promotion that had an established run, 20, 25 years, something like that. People that had been good to him in the past that he had worked with and appreciated. So it was just speculation. They threw out MLW. They were trying to see, where the court had worked together somewhere along the lines. The NWA came thinking of something, we got the longevity, but there was a time where Billy was also there at TNA, so there was some overlap.
Yeah, he knew Billy from before. So I mean, I thought that when he first mentioned it, but I didn't know
that part. I didn't know he knew Billy. I'm assuming from TNA, obviously, right?
Because I didn't know, and the reason I thought NWA just because process of elimination, I wasn't even sure how frequently JCW still ran, so I didn't even know it'd be a situation where they would need a TV writer to write shows. I thought they just put on shows, here and there when they went on tour, which apparently they do. And it's also a TV show. So but I didn't know all that. So I didn't think of that, but it would have made sense if I had, because he's been working with ICP since late 90s.
That makes sense. Exactly. And the fact that JCW, like you said, Vet, is still around, blows my mind, because they've been around 25 years plus at this point. They were around in the late 90s, weren't they? Or close to it. Or right after they stopped wrestling, pretty much. Either between 99, 2001 is when it started, right? Around
there, yeah.
But I think, over the stretch of those years, the frequency of shows has varied. Where right now they're on a regular tour, but I think there was a time maybe where they would only do a couple a year. They were they would include wrestling inside of their music festivals. So they would go do a show and there might be a wrestling thing with it. So maybe in the sense that most fans are thinking where, you're running an every month or bi-monthly. So that might have not always been the frequency, but now they have been regularly touring. One of the first guys that I actually met here locally in the business, David Barnabas Spector, one of the best managers out there. I believe he's managing the Zombie crew there in JCW. So he's been touring with them quite a bit over the last couple of months. So they are getting that frequency. I know Brandon does the watch-alongs with the Juggalo Championship Wrestling Lunacy, which is their internet show that they've got. Right. It sounds like the episodes that are involving Russo will begin airing Thanksgiving week. And he's doing 9 shows right now for them that he has written out. They're going to be hitting on some hot button real world issues. I know because they're going to do drug testing things, sports and drug testing. Me Too. So it's a push an envelope. So again, I think, with Juggalo Championship Wrestling, it's probably a better platform, a better canvas for Russo style crash television.
Oh, absolutely.
Push that button. Yeah. Hit real world issues, as opposed to the NWA, who still wrestle as lures of, old school Dixie studio wrestling, where it's more of the traditional.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they are still around. I'm even surprised. But credit to them, man, because they've been around for a long time. So good on ICP for keeping the JCW going. But I'm happy for Vince, absolutely, and Big Vito. Particularly, and
Vito as well. You're gonna look at some of the photos of them at the shows, how they're representing themselves, responding on social media. It looks like they found a new glow, a renewed passion for professional wrestling. And real quick on Vito, that guy stayed ready, was ready for any time that call came. I got to work a couple shows with him a couple of years ago. He walks into a building. There's an aura about him. There's a star power drawn with him. He looks like $1 million. Everything is professional. Even walking into that indie locker room, takes care of everybody, very respectful, coaches and lifts everybody up. Vito, the work that he's done with us and how close him and Ray got, becoming such good friends, and absolutely. Our platform at HMG. That guy was ready, stayed ready for a phone call and an opportunity like this. So it's awesome to see that for Vito.
He's one of the best people I've ever spoken to in the business, put it that way. So, I mean, and he's great. He's a top guy. I can't say anything negative about Big Vito, put it that way.
One of those guys you're almost afraid was too nice.
shockingly, right? He did, I mean, if you didn't know him, you wouldn't come across that way. But it's true. He is too nice, man. I mean, shit. He even wishes us all happy birthdays every year. I mean, I can't say nothing bad about him. Put it that way. Have you had anything to say about that?
About what, Big Vito?
Yeah, just in general, like the whole.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no. I mean, just I'm everybody watching to see what's coming up.
Absolutely. And we got another super sticker by the G-Ball himself. That means so you get one of these. Yeah. I'm loving the Mortal. I'm waiting for Mortal Kombat now. Test your mind.
Yeah.
Anyway. Thank you, G-Ball. Anyway, G-Ball, thank you very much. We appreciate it, man, for the $2 super sticker. Man, you guys are just too good. Anyway, Zane says Big Vito is a good friend of his. Good man.
Friends with everybody. Everybody I love a Vito.
This saying Texas says not a shot, but even with storylines like that, will it get over? I mean, today's fans and sickos mostly care for Meltzer ratings and not storyboards. Even Triple H stories are lacking. Let's be honest, Texas. He's saying Texas. Everything in wrestling right now is lacking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just the bottom line.
Yeah, it's if it ain't WWE, it ain't getting over at all. So it's just a matter of perspective. But the whole idea is to just do a little bit better than you just did. So if they can just keep, increasing the viewership and getting more people to spend money and check stuff out, that's what every company wants, whether it's wrestling or not.
It is what it is. Rick, anything else you want to drop in before we get into this week?
I'm saying you fire up that DeLorean and get it up to 88 miles per hour, and let's head back to the past.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys, this is going to be a good one. I haven't even scrolled down the whole list, and I've already seen a bunch of cool stuff. Starting with this, 1985 on this day.
Ooh.
The Hard Times promo aired on the World Championship Wrestling program.
Wow.
Yeah. So
with Dusty, it's been that long already. That's crazy, man.
1985.
Wow.
So happy 40th birthday to Hard Times and a computer taking your job. It was as relevant today as it was then.
I don't know if that's a compliment or a backhanded slap, but still.
It's neither a compliment or an insult. It's just, it's just a fact of life. Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1985, Dusty was talking about a computer taking your job. In 2025, we're talking about AI slop and all this other shit. Yeah. Computers taking your job. 1988, New Orleans. The Road Warriors defeat the Midnight Express to win the NWA World Tag Team Championship.
Nice.
No event given.
Poor Midnight.
No event given. We don't know where it happened.
It just might have been in a Waffle House parking lot or something like that. The Road Warriors are just like, you know what? These two little punks ain't walking around with these belts anymore. We're just taking them.
That's it. That was it. They did it. 1995 Halloween Havoc. Joe Louis Arena. During the Zodiac versus Randy Savage match.
Classic.
A female fan got in the ring and tried to attack Savage, but was restrained and ejected by the referee. So I guess that was a shoot.
Wait. So Zodiac had actual female fans?
It just says a female fan. I assume of wrestling in general got in there.
Interesting.
Tried to attack Savage.
She was trying to snap into that Slim Jim.
That's right. Yeah. So and then the main event was the in-ring debut of the Giant going against Hulk Hogan, because this was the one where earlier they had the Monster Truck Sumo match where Hogan accidentally knocked the Giant off the roof of Cobo Hall.
That was
Murder
ridiculous.
attempt.
And then they had the match later on that night, wasn't it? Or a week later?
Yeah.
No,
No, it was
that
later on that night.
It was later on that night, right?
This happened. Then they had the in-ring debut.
And then the moment. Then the moment.
Yeah, that's right. You know where Rick already knows where it's going. So is the referee okay? Jimmy Hart hits the referee. Hogan loses by disqualification, and the Giant in his in-ring debut became the WCW champion. Okay, because that was a pre-match stip. I guess any way that Hogan lost, title goes to the Giant, and then the Yeti came down, and they did they spit roasted Hulk Hogan for the length of a Bible.
Hawkster was getting a double shot of them Halloweeners. The Hawkster hump, as it would be known. This show here is, that's right. I mean, the absurdity of this entire thing. We start off with a monster truck sumo contest and somehow ends up on a rooftop where the Giant falls from because Hogan can't help him out. The Giant then reappears for the match. Even the Jimmy Hart turn in the match was like confusing to everybody because that comes out of nowhere. They got the stipulation that the championship can turn on any decision. Then yes, the Yeti makes an appearance and they hump Hogan into oblivion.
Spit roasted him into oblivion, right? I mean,
yeah, there's so much, it when stuff like this happens, or like when you go back and reminisce about stuff like this, I guess today's wrestling doesn't seem that bad.
No,
right?
no, you know what? Imagine that now. We'd be shitting on this so bad.
God. Well, we did then.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And I was shitting on it then.
Even just a simple like, like the fact of like, why was there a double bear hug? Like, why would you? All you had to do is have both guys like choke him, like with their hands, on the neck.
Like the big Frankenstein choke.
Yes, yes. And then you have distance between them, and you could show them like powering Hogan down and just choking him. But no, let's just hug. Let's hug and vibrate. That's weird. But, besides all of that, like what Todd Brantley said, fell off the building, but just showed up later for the main event. No problem.
I remember chipping on
what?
that.
So why do it? What was any of this?
WCW 95 was bad. Like really bad.
And Aaron's asking about the Yeti. Yeah, in America it's Bigfoot, but this wasn't Bigfoot. This was the Yeti. we imported the Yeti from the Himalayas or whatever, wherever.
That was somehow the Yeti that was somehow wrapped as a mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I have heard Mr. Sullivan, Kevin Sullivan, talking about this year of WCW and how it was about making Hogan feel kind of comfortable with the same characters that he had challenged and things. So the point of the Dungeon of Doom, and Sullivan's talked about this, the point of the Dungeon of Doom was to create characters that were so awful that you wouldn't possibly cheer for them over Hogan because they were worried about the crowd turning on Hogan even then. Right. Because it was starting to unstale. So they created characters like the Yeti, like the Zodiac, like the Shark, all those that were part of the Dungeon of Doom and the Alliance to end the Hulk Hogan. They were intentionally making those characters so bad that you would still cheer for Hulk Hogan no matter what.
Yeah, but I mean, at what cost? Because you still had to have him deal with those things, and that still makes him look bad. So it's like, no matter what, I'd rather get booed than have to try to make lemonade out of that. Yeah. Yes.
That was bad.
Aaron, you're taking it way too literally, man. I'm telling you. They put up, if the Yeti is Egyptian, what they did, Kevin Sullivan put a plane, sent it to Egypt, a private jet, sent it to Egypt, picked him up and brought him back to the States. No one said he had to be like from the native land. We imported it. We imported the Yeti. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then wrapped him in bandages.
It was the original Forbidden Door.
Yes, so forbidden. We normally don't get to just see cryptids out in the open, you know. So in 2000, so in 2000, what would be voted by Wrestling Observer newsletter readers as the worst major show of the year, the 12th and final Halloween Havoc from the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas. One of the matches saw Jeff Jarrett pin Sting after various interference from 5 other people dressed as Sting against the actual Sting.
That we've seen that plenty of times during that.
And we might see it in JCW. Elsewhere on the card, Buff Bagwell faced David Flair in a first blood DNA match to see who was the father of Stacy Keibler's unborn child, which was won by Bagwell after busting Flair open. After the match, Lex Luger attacked Bagwell, causing him to also bleed, which allowed Flair to steal a DNA sample from Buff. I'm just reading what's written here.
That's true. I remember it. I remember that like it was yesterday, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's bad. Actually, that was really bad, man. Maybe we should be more grateful that we don't get ridiculous shit like that now. Sorry, Vince. I'm just saying because that was Vince doing that stuff during those times. That was pretty bad.
In 2005, though, see, now here's something completely different that nobody saw and nobody knows about. Not even Zane Vicious. Because
really?
It's the Chikara / NeXt Monster Mash from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Okay. So you may, if you had watched this, you would have seen the opening match of Jervis Cottonbelly versus Ghostface from the Scream movies.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Big historic moment.
Yeah.
That's historic. All right. Who won that match?
The main event was I believe Ghostface won by disqualification.
Running from the ice creams.
Yeah, and Darkness Crabtree hit a stunner on the Grim Reaper for the pin and the win. The main event saw Dracula, the Mummy, and the Wolfman versus Jason, Freddy Krueger, and Leatherface. The match ended after Dracula slammed Jason, allowing the Mummy to hit a shooting star press and get the cover.
Shooting star press.
Yep.
That would have been the sight. That's crazy. Why does anyone think like
they set up the shooting star press by like double humping, bear hugging and humping Jason until he fell down, and then they hit the shooting star press.
Oh, that clearly worked for him, brother.
Yeah. 2007 on Monday Night Raw, Kelly Kelly wins a 10-woman Halloween Battle Royal, and Hornswoggle beat Jonathan Coachman with Mick Foley as special guest referee. And then the main event saw Triple H lose in a handicap match to the team of Randy Orton and Umaga after interference from Shawn Michaels.
Oh, I remember that actually.
Okay. Well, Scott Woodford might know about this. In 2018, during Chris Jericho's Rockin' Wrestling Rager at Sea, a high wattage 6-man tag team match took place dubbed as Bullet Club versus Alpha Club. So in the match, Cody, Marty Scurll, and Kenny Omega defeated Chris Jericho and the Young Bucks. And in 2020, on NXT UK, Walter successfully defended the title, the NXT UK title, against Ilya Dragunov.
Oh,
and that was, I believe that was the match that I showed Ray to be like, this is Walter. What was that, 5 years ago? What do I always say? Like 5 years ahead? All right. So anyway, that was that. And today, sadly, you cannot personally wish him a happy birthday, but you can love him anyway, because on this day in 1949, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff was born.
R.I.P. to Mr. Wonderful, man. I was a fan of his growing up, no doubt about it. Remember his theme? Wonderful. In WCW,
well, that was past the glory. That was past the glory times.
Way past. But still, it was funny. But his WWE theme is probably better. But the WCW one was definitely memorable.
Yeah. So that's it. That was this day in professional wrestling history.
We're done.
That's it. We're done.
All right, now you know what sucks. I don't have, for whatever reason, I don't have the, the graphic for the review for the next. Sorry,
Weird.
that is weird. I don't even have that. I wish I did, but I do have this. This one's for you, Vic.
Soba Femi song?
Woof. So we're gonna get into NXT now without the graphic. You know what I'm saying? If I had the graphic, I would have put it right up there. But instead, we're gonna have to just bounce with Oba.
Why don't we have Ricky Saints' song? I'm sure he has that.
Not on here. It's not here.
Oh.
Right on the StreamYard.
Oh.
He's put a lot of things up here, but just not that one. Ricky Saints' damn theme sucks anyway. I can't stand that theme. I can't stand him. Anyway, we'll get to that when we do now.
Wow, that's a teaser for you. Stay tuned.
No, look, you know what? I'll say one thing. I didn't care so much about him really in AEW. Like, I wasn't that much of a hater. But for some reason in NXT, he just comes across small still, like way smaller. Everyone was kind of the same size as him in AEW. He didn't look as bad. But him and Trick, come on, man.
Well,
anyway.
We'll get to that in a second. Now, Rick, did you actually get to watch Halloween Havoc? Or
I've seen all these through and through, man.
Okay.
I was buckled in here Saturday night. I've got a bunch of notes for both of these shows.
Okay, fine. So we'll start with Halloween Havoc, and on the pre-show they just had, the usual bullshit with Sam Roberts and that chick Megan, and then you got the sit downs. Yeah, just generic, boring sit down interviews with Ethan Page, and Paxum and Izzy, and a Zoom call that Vic had with Javon and Leon. So like, you didn't really miss anything. It's just some old bullshit. But they all had music underneath them, which is always corny to me. Yeah, like they always have they can't just have two people talking in a room. I guess they think everybody will just get bored if you just listen to two people talking, so they play music under it. And that's just one of my many pet peeves there.
That's gonna get you into it, right? I'm like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But we have Halloween Havoc, and we're starting out with the young OG guys versus Mr. Iguana and La Parka. So this was supposed to be like, energize the crowd. Let's get them hyped. Start with some gimmicks and some flash and some fun and everything like that. But Rick, you already got something to say.
I was saying, because right into this open here, a lot of my notes deal with the production on this thing. And as Jimmy was talking about going in with maybe a fresh look, something special, unique, wrestling-wise for him with the NXT show. For me, this was a nostalgia thing. I used to love Halloween Havoc. It was a great theme thing for the holiday thing. So even coming in here and that you're talking about that pre-show, setting the ambiance. The last couple of years we've done this. We've done that perfectly. It had a great look to it, something that was special. This show didn't feel like anything more. It felt below even a special they'd run on the CW. It was like an average, regular NXT program. So from the get-go here, the voiceover is just this generic individual. Why I could throw out like a dozen options here to spice this up, to set an energy. Why not pop the fans? You did it with Homecoming with bringing some people back. Why not go get Shotzi? I know you'd be a fan of that vet. She did such a great job there.
Wasn't the same without Shotzi.
If you don't want to go that route, you've got Zelina Vega, who now you're, this dark temptress. Maybe try to give her a shot there. Hey, you got an easy phone call. You got Michelle McCool's husband, who used to play a spooky, intimidating character. You have the Undertaker out there, with the "to the victors go the treats, the losers rest in." Get me AI. Get me a Paul Bearer, Percy Pringle voiceover, not this generic, unenthusiastic, uninspired voice. Now, when we go into the set, we got Slim Jim. Why not? Where's the Big Pumpkin? Where is the Slim Jim Halloween Havoc set?
That is true.
100%. Where's the ambiance in the arena? This is any day, every show. I mean, give us the lighting with the spooky mist and all that. This opener here, it was one of the things I had in my notes, and I can't believe I was texting Ben about this. Couldn't believe that they missed an opportunity. They should have cut to that arena. Vic saying, "Welcome to Halloween Havoc," and then start with like the dun 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 dun. Start that Thriller song. How cool would it have been? Like LaParker's.
Yeah,
How cool to see
good.
him open and him
Right.
come out doing
100%.
Thriller with an army of skeletons.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you
30,
could have done
30
some.
45 seconds, LaParker getting the crowd hyped up. Again, we're supposed to have a fun opener. LaParker doing the
Absolutely.
lead with skeletons, do the ho laughing Thriller, big spotlight on a zombie iguana man sitting right there.
And then you get the laugh from Thriller down.
Yeah. Then
Then
they go to the ring. But no, what do we get for the open? You get the man child of Cam Patterson and Urkel, Javon Evans, dancing with the Spirit of Halloween lawn ornament that everybody has, skeleton to the ring. I mean, the whole energy from the get-go was disappointing.
That I agree with. I'll give you that. I wasn't thinking about it at the time, but now that you bring it up, how did I not do that, Van?
Because everybody sucks. What do you think I'm talking about? What do you think?
Why don't you open it with two babyface teams with each other? Why not have like an 8-man? Let's put the fun, energetic babies with Vaughn and his guy with Iguana and Parka against some heels that you hate, and just give them 8 minutes to go out there, hit some real quick tornado-style high spots to keep that crowd energized before you get into the meat of the show.
Yes, why not this? Why not that? We should have done lots of things. And some of those things wouldn't have cost them anything extra. Like even your like just the graphics and things that, you know, if you have video boards, you know, and graphics and things like that, just having more of that, you know, would have been something. It was just nothing. It seemed like very phoned in. And what can you say? It's just, you're going to get low effort from here on out. I keep telling you guys, things only get worse. They don't get better. So you're just seeing it in real time. And as far as everything else that you said, like, that's exactly what I was talking about when I said they're not interested in ideas. You imagine pitching all those great ideas and then just looking at you like, that's more work we got to do. You know, like, that's what we're dealing with here. That's the kind of people they are. Like, you don't even... You're supposed to put on a weird spectacle, and you can't even be bothered to be weird and have a spectacle. You just have a fucking shitty arena show with matches. So here you go with this, right?
Well,
and you would think,
to the matches, because they're inspiring as well.
Yeah, despite all the stuff that you said, at least these guys could ratchet up the energy with what they actually bring to the table in the ring, right? Right?
They
fuck no.
Exactly.
Fuck no. These guys fucking sucked. That couldn't even. There's more blown spots in this match than I've seen like all this year. And remember, I cover AEW, bro. Like these, like how do you have these guys in the ring slow? Like they were slow on some of their stuff. Like none of their stuff had any. This kid LaParka, this new LaParka, whatever. He's going through the motions and phoning it in, and all his shit looks terrible.
And that's what I started thinking. Is it the old LaParka? Then it would make sense.
The old LaParka is better than this guy. Like he's legit, and even his ring entrance is better than this guy. You know what I mean?
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, him and his sons. I would have cut a deal. Like, forget the lawsuit, Court. Let me borrow. Well, that's okay. They don't have to borrow from Court because he kicked the Parkas out, so they could. Those guys are probably free agents at this point. You could have brought the legit ones in, but of course they're not going to do that for political reasons. I get it, but I'm just saying, like, whatever this kid is, he's got a long way to go.
He was bad, pathetic.
Mr. Iguana. I think the honeymoon's over because not only after watching this match, I realized why we haven't seen his ass in a while.
True.
You know, like he fucked everything up. He was short on a dive to the outside. Like he just came up short. The guys were like ready to catch him and he just didn't make it that far. And by the time they realized it, they couldn't step up in time. So he just splatted on the canvas or on the concrete outside. You know, nice hip toss yourself to the outside and land on the concrete. You know, so talk about bump cards, minus 75. Then he tried to do the Paradise Lock, which is a bullshit move anyway, but some people still like to do it just for shits and giggles, right? Even Serena Deeb used the Paradise Lock sometimes. Sonata, you know, many people throughout the years have used the Paradise Lock. He couldn't put it on right, so he fucked that up. They did the spot where like, you know, like he was like Javon and Leon were like chopping him, like they were chopping him, and he was like, he takes the chops and then he goes like, close your eyes, guys, close your eyes. Like, and they're like, what? Okay, I guess we'll close our eyes. And then he does, you know, that shit that he does with the Yeska, whatever. But that's a spot you do at the start of the match, not 13 fucking minutes in after you've been hitting each other and punching each other and diving on each other and doing all this shit to each other. And, you know, you don't play close your eyes, let's play a fun game thing 13 minutes into a match that should have only lasted 8 minutes.
100%. It felt like they were having pillow fights at one stage, man.
And the, oh yeah, well, I mean, Yeska is a literal pillow. Then you have the finish setup. They went for to set up they completely blew the entire setup to the finish of the match.
It was bad, man.
Yeah, just I don't know what it was. I would say it's a midair collision, but I'm not sure they collided. I think they just flew in the air and fell down.
They didn't even reach.
My
it was
God.
like literally they missed each other completely.
Mercifully, Leon Slater ends this after about like 17 minutes or whatever with a Swan 450 on Mr. Iguana. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I don't think this guy's going to be the sensation everybody thought he was, because he couldn't even do the simplest things here. And nobody else was much better. But yeah. Your thoughts, Rick?
I think you had it perfectly there. I actually had in my notes here, this match obviously not brought to you by Rosetta Stone, because the communication completely seemed like it was non-existent. Just slow pacing. They didn't know where each other was at. You nailed it. And this is not a way to open a PLE where you're not up against anything. You are the spotlight for this weekend.
Yeah, actually, before you go, Jimmy, I just want to say, like, not slow pacing in the match, slow movement in a fast-paced match.
Yeah,
you can't do that. That's where the timing issues come from. You got to be on the spot with everything. If you're going to do the complicated shit that they talked about and set up in the back, you got to be Johnny on the spot with everything, and they were not. Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, you guys put it, really well. I was laughing throughout this whole match, to be honest. And the finish was priceless. But put all that shit aside, it was a fun train wreck because I was just laughing. I was having a laugh watching this match. So in saying that, it was bad. Don't get me wrong. But I'll give it a pass because it amused me of how bad. It was so bad that it was kind of good. That's how I looked at it.
That's it. Yeah, that's like an a la carte, right? I mean, you just have to.
Absolutely.
And that's why I enjoyed the event. Take your entertainment where you can. Maybe it's unintentional.
It was unintentional, but it still entertained me.
Okay. Culling and Zaris all chat about championships. Okay. Then we have the Day of the Dead match with Ethan Page versus El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. And he's wearing the Ray 97 inspired gear from Halloween Havoc, which was also inspired by The Phantom.
It was.
Yes,
and
the old radio serial and comic book, hero, The Phantom. And it also kind of looks like, La Fantasma, or Hijo del Fantasma, which is Santos Escobar, which was, recently rehired.
Yeah, that's true. That's a big.
So anyway, they had mood lighting for this match. Did you guys like the mood lighting?
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed this.
At least it gives you an ambiance. All right, there is something special, something sinister, different about everything else you're seeing here. I did appreciate that they took the time to explain the rules to this thing. Anything can go, but it has to end inside the ring. So I appreciate those little touches early on in the match.
I was begging for a kendo stick so I could disavow this match, but unfortunately they didn't. They just used trash cans and chairs and stuff for the most part.
Sworn maybe there wasn't a kendo stick, right?
Not in this one.
Okay.
But what there was a second Paradise Lock. Now, if Wagner was just put this in the middle of this match just to show up Mr. Iguana, then kudos to him. Like I love him. But if it was just the fact that they didn't know what the other person was going to do, so you repeated the spot, then shame on you guys. But at least he did it as close to correctly as you could expect.
Absolutely.
The finish comes after Ethan throws powder in his face and hits a twisted table grin off the top rope for the finish. Jimmy, did you enjoy this match ironically or normally?
Nah, look, it was a lot more normally than the previous match. Put it that way. I did. You know what? I never used to be the biggest fan of Ethan Page. I never was, right? But the more I've seen him since his AEW time and now in WWE, he's becoming more complete. I feel like he's not the best, right? Absolutely nowhere near, the best at anything. But he's good at everything, if that makes sense. Good promo, decent wrestler. Like he's in that mid. Like if you had to make stats with him, he'd be literally half everything, like just halfway, and that's it. He's a perfect all-rounder in my eyes. In terms if you need someone to like feud with, he can actually do everything. So in saying that, I enjoyed the match. I didn't know there was I didn't know how personal this match was, but it seemed pretty personal going by Wagner Jr. the way he was reacting in this match. But it wasn't a title versus title match, was it? It was just for the NXT North American Championship and not the AAA belt that he had.
They actually did touch on that
Wagner
on the commentary, saying, "Hey, why is Wagner putting his belt up here? This should be champion for champion." So maybe they'll spin off into a future match. I know they got the Gold Rush coming up, which we'll talk about a little bit. So to intertwine those things, continue these two. But maybe I'm not as hip to the scene with the Mexican, the lucha style. But why is it any time that we get a taste of that? On the northern side of the border, it has to be something about that stupid mask. I mean, pulling off the mask and how disrespectful it is every time. It's that same old story in these matches.
But it works with Mexico all the time, though.
But to me, it almost seems like the wrong guy went over here. That Wagner looks, so much less, after being disrespected in that sense, and then gets put down.
That's true, but that's part of Ethan's character too. But anyway, sorry, Vet.
No, I agree with that. I mean, if you, in their mind, well, first of all, it's WWE just putting themselves over. They know they're going to do that. And then they, in their mind, they're like, well, it's good heat for Ethan Page. That's the justification that they have to spin to Wagner to get him to go along with whatever they're doing. Not that he's going to argue anyway, because, it's the best spot he's going to be in. So like, I get it. And it's just a visual, like, even if you don't understand like what's going on or who these people are, when you see Ethan Page ripping at that mask and you see the guy desperately trying to stop him from ripping the mask or trying to protect his face, even if you don't know the history of Lucha Libre or anything like that, you can see that it's clearly important to, so it's like an instant story.
It's that easy crutch, but it just seems like, okay, we go to the well with that every time we see these crossovers.
Yeah, not every time, but yeah, enough times, so I get it. But again, we're also too inside, and if this shit were real, and you were a piece of shit, you would do that. So pieces of shit are a piece of shit every time. And you give them a target, they're gonna aim for it.
When I was wrestling women, I'd try to rip their bottoms off every time.
You're damn right. So I mean, but with that being said, other than that, I mean, RBV, what do you think about? Did you have an assessment of Wagner Jr.? I haven't seen a lot of the kid, more so his dad, but like, the kid is new to me, so I'm really kind of just seeing him, and the only time I'm seeing him really is in one quick match he had on NXT last week, and then this garbage match.
Well, yeah, he's been involved here since the merger, so he's been a focal point. So it has been kind of nice to see, where he's going. I think he's getting better every time I've seen him, or maybe I'm just picking up a little more nuances. And now that I've only seen him still just a handful of times, like yourself, but he is one of those more appealing individuals, at least for me, where I'm saying, okay, we've got something involved with AAA. We see if he's on that card, because I'm starting to get that following, that background where he will bring me to the table.
All right. And anything on Ethan Page, like as far as Jimmy was saying with his growth into a complete wrestler?
Not to go spend so much time and it's deep into it as Jimmy there. I've always been a big fan of his, where Jimmy's got him kind of like a middle of the pack. I agree that he is very well rounded. I would rate him much higher. I'm surprised that he is still in NXT. I think there's some very valuable spots for him within the red and the blue. Now, by no means, most people freak out thinking everyone's got to be a main eventer. They're going to headline WrestleManias. I don't think that's a spot for Ethan Page, but I think when you look for someone to step in and fill a role, he is very much into that same dynamic as The Miz, the guy that can always get it done for you, and it's going to deliver.
Right.
It's might not hit a home run every time, but he's going to get you guys on base and move them over.
And believe me, I was never a fan of his. He's literally, the more I see him over the years, the more I'm seeing his growth. So I'm starting to appreciate him, you know what I mean? So I can see it. I see where you're coming from and how high you hold him. But yeah, I wouldn't put him main event status, obviously. But he's
not everybody needs
good...
and that's the biggest issue with fans and all that, is that they think everyone's got to be at that level. I mean, it takes all parts to make the machine go.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I still don't give a fuck about him. Kalani of Hearts and Velma Grace are in the back.
Jinkies.
Yeah, Jinkies.
That's right.
Exactly.
Jinkies. Yeah, Velma slaps Kalani in the face, and she says, "You're gonna regret that," and leaves.
God. So childish.
Yeah. Next is Blake Monroe versus Zarya. Zarya filling in for her buddy Soul, who's also out there. The story is her shoulder. Oh my God, my shoulder, my shoulder, my shoulder. At one point, Soul pushes her, does the lethal weapon, the rigs, into the post, puts it back in. But that's still, she becomes a liability, and Blake Monroe takes advantage and hits some DDTs on Zarya, one on the outside, one on the inside, and new champion. Interesting story here with the whole proxy, defense, and the long story of the friendship between Soul and Zarya, which, is clearly in my mind, they're trying to lead towards some turn, but I feel like there's a lot more interest if the turn never comes and people just keep expecting it. And they keep finding ways to be best friends. I would actually rather see that, just because I don't see that ever. So I'd like to keep this going, but so far they have. Spoiler alert for next, NXT episode. They're still friends, but things are weird. Because because of this. Because technically, she put herself on the line to defend her friend's belt, and she lost. So it's complicated, though, Rick. It's complicated.
It is very complicated. I do agree with you. I love the assessment there, Vet, because one of the things I got to ask you is, man, this is just prolong. It's almost kind of jump that shark on the split up. Let's just keep it going here. And now you've got the injury, which is going to prolong this thing, because we can't really go into a full payoff if they were eventually going to turn on each other. But yeah, it just is a different dynamic for a match that you don't get to see. Is, hey, let me step in for my friend. Let me go in there. I've been her ride or die for her. I hate to see her a fluke injury in a match I was involved in. I was tagging up on SmackDown. She's lost this opportunity. Don't strip this from her. She's going to work hard to come back. Let me get in there to try to help out here. But as you said, we got the almost, because commentary puts it over when she pops that shoulder back in. What was that? It was kind of weird. Like, oh, Soul's turning. Like, oh, okay, this was actually a helping ploy.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets her shoulder thrown back in there, but then the miscommunication ends up backfiring on the babies here, and Blake takes the title. So I thought that dynamic was pretty interesting. And the match itself was fine. I think Zarya's getting better and better in the ring. She obviously has this tremendous look about her. Actually, this match really reminded me, not so much in a technical sense, but took me back to Attitude Era women's wrestling, not Divas era, but Attitude, where you had unique looks. Somebody that looked different, that was a little rough, rugged, that was a brawler like Zarya in there, against the sex appeal of a Blake Monroe. That you had those different clashes, and at times this felt more real catfighty, like you would actually see in women's fighting, than it did the floor routines that we see with others women's matches today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what's funny about Zarya? Have you guys seen her without makeup, without that face paint and shit?
I
she looks a lot better than you think. Than with that on. It's
I don't think there's
weird,
anything wrong with her right now. I mean, that's her look.
I like her with it on.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, if that's what you guys are into, why not? Huh? I mean, geez. But yeah, no, Zarya though's still got a lot of work to do. She's getting a lot better though, for sure. But I'm not her
Was she
biggest
bad
fan.
before? I mean, I know you hate her because she's Australian, but
See, there we go. But see, I can't help it, man. It's like I don't know, man. She'll be something in WWE for sure. She's always been that character even before WWE, though. I will say that.
okay. Well, anyway, let's move on to another woman. It's Ren Sinclair telling stories about stuff that happened on NXT. And then Lash and Kendall sort of get into a spat, and it looks like they're headed for a match, which we'll see later.
We'll get to that. Ugh.
All right.
Yeah.
Now it's time for one of the major matches on the show. It's Dark Paxum. You want to? Do you have the thing ready, Jimmy? Do you want to try it?
I do.
Paxum.
Yes.
Even though she was in white.
She's in white, but she's dark.
But she's dark, exactly.
Yeah, you know, when Paxum Tately first showed up, she was just another girl, you know.
Right.
And then she turned dark. So
I actually like she's improved big time. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Versus Reptilian Britt Baker. So one of the things that I really enjoyed, and I'm being as sarcastic as possible, is when I watch a heel group stand at the side of the ring and watch another heel group cheat
I know.
to their wrestler and sit and complain to the referee like, hey, are you just going to allow this? Like, I'm sorry. Shouldn't you two big, guys go over there and threaten these women? Like, shouldn't that be what a heel does? But nah, it's all right. It's fine. It's fine. I'll say this. I would never trust Jacy to give me a neck breaker off the top rope.
Hell no.
So bless little Miss Tately's heart. But then we finally get a double ejection because apparently, the heel group can only take so much watching the other heel group cheat. So we get a double ejection. Then we get an unejection where they all just come right back out.
So dumb.
Izzy picks up the championship and is right there with Paxum, and there is no other interpretation of what was going to happen by any party involved other than I am going to hit my friend with this belt in the face, because Paxum just looks right at her and then ducks. Why would you need to duck? Why would you need to duck unless she's aiming for you? Which she misses. She goes and she hits, what's her face? And
did she hit her? I don't think she.
She didn't. No, she didn't hit her.
Right.
She missed the belt shot completely. Actually, that's right. I forgot. And then that allows Paxum to hit the cemetery drive on her, and we get a new champion here as well. So Dark Paxum finally won the big one. And they're talking about after her 4 years, like that's some long time in the business, But
So like,
yeah, but
New champion.
yeah. Nonetheless, the match was okay, but it was them trying to do their overly booked, finish, and and then afterwards, Paxum just pretends like nothing happened, like with her friend, even though. It could only have been one thing happening. So Jimmy, like, what were your thoughts on that? And overall, like, were you happy to see Dark Paxum?
I was happy to see, man, Dark Paxum actually win the championship. As a matter of fact, man, she's got killer legs. And I was saying, like, I noticed she's got she's got like pretty big legs for a small chick. I know she's got hamstrings there, man.
you're really sexualizing people today.
That's what's on top of the hamstrings too.
Oh, no, wait. First of all, I'm not the one that said I'll pull their pants down, if you know what I mean, Rick.
No, that was strategery to win a match.
I'm just saying. Right, that's one thing. But anyway, second of all, since the last time I've really watched her, she's improved tenfold, man. Like, I never remember her being this good. And I'm happy for her, man. She's great. Except her friend, what's her friend's name again?
Izzy Dame.
Izzy Dame. She reminds me of a poor women's version of Tiffy sort of thing, like an uglier version of Tiffany Stratton. I hate to say that. I'm not saying she's ugly. She's not, but Tiffy's just better. You know what I mean? So I don't like. She should change her look, in my opinion. But that's just me. But what I want to know is, because I don't know the story event, what's with this group? Like, how did that even happen?
Which one? The Colin?
Yeah, this short version. The Tatum Paxley was friends with Lyra Valkyria and some other people,
right.
and they all kind of left, and she felt like all my friends left me or turned on me, and I'm sad, and I'm just playing with my dolls. And then the Cullings saw like, well, Izzy Dame saw like a weak, baby bird to take under the wings, so they kind of did that, and now she's getting the shine. So that's where like the jealousy comes in, like the thinly veiled jealousy. So it's like that. They figured, oh, I'll just take advantage of this broken person, but now the broken person's doing better than me. And and the guys don't care. They're all for it. They're like, hey, all right, whatever. But
you know what they remind me of? They remind me of those other guys in AEW that were in AEW. What was that idiot guy that always click into the ring? He'd be like, they're supposed to be part of the White Sticks.
Right. The
calling? No, not the calling.
No, I know it's.
But you know what I'm talking about. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it was Vinny, and the other fat guy with the suspenders.
Right. Yeah. Vincent, Vinny Margalia, whatever the fuck his last name is.
Yeah,
I can't even pronounce it.
Somebody knows their name.
Yeah, anyway, they remind me of them. They look very similar, except I would rather this group than that group. Dutch, there's Dutch as well. But what's the group?
Team? The Righteous.
The Righteous.
I knew the Tom Brantley one. Yeah, the thing is, the culling normally doesn't wear white. That was a Halloween Havoc deal. They're normally all in black. So
okay, all right. So I maybe took that interpretation just a little bit different there, Bev, because look back here. Opening match, we got babies versus babies. This match here for the women's championship, we got heels versus heels. We got everybody out there. I thought, hey, this is because we got two heel groups out here. The calling wearing the white because they're letting us know, hey, we're the good guys now. That Paxley's got us, cheered up, ready to go. Right. We're gonna do things on the up and up here. Match itself, as you said, not too bad. Goes way too long though. I think if you do this thing in about 10 minutes, it goes about 16 and a half minutes here. The end, absolutely, what the hell is going on here? You got the people getting thrown out, coming back. But as Vet said, clear as day. Everybody sees the shot with the title. Misses a target and can't even hit the secondary target. So we blow that entire finish, which you could have said, even if she would have hit Jacy, you could have said, oh, okay, see, I did do this for you or whatever. So you could have started that. But then you got even Izzy on the outside there in the celebration. She's hesitant to get in. She's looking, kind of dejected at what had happened, that her plan had backfired here. And yeah, this girl that she brought into the group that's supposed to be secondary to her has now taken that top spot. That is getting the attention and turning them into baby faces. My biggest thing here, though, is it's just more cattiness from this women's locker room, which is the running theme. I mean, I know it's development, but does it have to be high school? That's the NXT thing.
It's
on the CW. So yes, to answer your question, yes. Cold-blooded has
makes sense.
An important question. Has Paxum earned enough of our respect to call her by actual name? Well, it's not a matter of respect, Cold-blooded. It's what the respect is for Liz here in the chat, because Liz is the one that came up with Paxum Tately. So we're just honoring Liz by keeping that gag going. It has really nothing to do with disrespecting, this young lady whose real name isn't anything close to Tatum or Paxley. So
I actually thought that was her name.
No, I'm just so convincing, and I keep my bits going forever. So, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, and Paxum's like, she's not a heel. She's just, she's the sympathetic figure. So she's in the heel group, and we're all waiting for her to get taken advantage of, and it's just not going that way. It's going the opposite way. So
that was funny too, man. The guys loved it. They're all smiling. They're happy. This is awesome for them. Yeah.
She reminds me of 11 from Stranger Things for some reason. Something sort of similar, but not exactly. Does that make sense?
No. But she could get an Ego sponsorship if we, if you want to go that route. All right, so let's see. Miles Bourne complains to Ava about his conversation being interrupted.
Am I an asshole?
What?
Am I an asshole for like the way he talks because he's deaf and shit? It throws me off, man. I hate to say it.
Yeah, you're intolerant, and we're not going to have that.
Fair enough.
Tavion Heights comes in, interrupts, and then instead of doing what they always do, which is like make a 3-way match when there's 3 parties involved, Ava's like, you guys will face each other, and then the winner can face what? Okay, whatever. Broken Rules match coming up, guys.
Oh God!
Oh, the head's already in your hands. Interesting. Okay, I wonder what's wrong with this match. Well,
broken, all right.
It's DarkState. If Jimmy, if you want to give that a shot,
The DarkState.
Yeah. From the entrance this time, rather than coming out from the crowd or any of the weird places they show up, they just come right out the entrance gate.
Dancing and boogieing all the way there.
Yep. Versus the Broken Hardys. I love this part. Yeah. Remember, DarkState. Anarchists, terrorists, they vandalized offices, they go to other promotions and ruin great title matches. They do whatever they want. And when the Hardys come in the ring, they powder because it's 4-on-2. And of course, you got to powder. They actually, I'll give them credit that they actually did just make it the point where like DarkState just gets in the ring and does a 4-on-2. It took them a while to do it. I don't know why they didn't do it from the start, but I give them credit that they did at least do it at all. I did see that Osiris got backdropped by Jeff outside the ring and completely missed the table. And at first I was like, oh, maybe he wasn't supposed to hit the table because that was for later. But then Jeff went out after him and just suplexed him through it. So I was like, oh, yes, okay. He definitely was supposed to go through that table there.
Man.
I don't know if he chickened out midway through the bump or what, or if he just, whatever. I don't know what happened, but very green. This Osiris is extremely green. But I mean, there shouldn't be any amount of experience in the world that should, say, oh yes, you perfectly got backdropped out of the ring through a table. Right. Yes. Nailed it. Like, I don't blame him.
Perfect 10.
Yeah, perfect 10. No, that was the culling earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
So ultimately, the story of this match is these 4 wild anarchists get beaten up by 2 crippled 50-years.
And did that, especially Matt.
That's the story. I mean, eventually they turned it around and beat him with the Doomsday device through a table. Yeah, they did actually win, but for a while there, it was looking rough for DarkState. Kendo sticks did appear in this match, but
yep.
I chose not to disavow it this time because I wanted to bury everything else in it. So I wanted to make sure that I got that in and how bad this was. So I could do that if I disavowed it. But Rick, if I missed anything, you can clean up hit and bring me home.
This match itself, broken, woken. Are you effing joking? Why are we doing this in the arena? This is a very special event. It's got a spooky atmosphere about Halloween freaking Havoc. Why aren't we in the Hardyverse? Why aren't we doing something cinematic? Why aren't we going something else and putting together where these 2 50-year-old guys can go out there and outsmart these young terrorist kids? But
RBV, I'm sorry to interrupt. I would just want to completely agree with you. Like, I just assumed this was going to be a cinematic match.
Right?
I didn't even think about it.
Unique and different about it. And we go out there and get the same BS. I just saw Day of the Dead stuff basically doing the same thing here. Now you're just doing it with more people because it's the Hardys. I'm supposed to pop for this. You miss another opportunity to do something special here. Maybe even help out these young kids that no one's buying into with this DarkState. But yeah,
it's lazy.
Yeah, so this is lazy, man. This was one of those immediate, like, you have completely missed the buck. HBK, anybody back? How the hell do you miss this? This is on you with this bad idea. So a bad match from all around.
I mean, we should have known because we didn't even get the pumpkin.
Oh, right? True. We didn't even get that. That's true. I mean, that's bad. Have you guys noticed the way Jeff Hardy's been doing his swanton bombs? They're getting worse and worse, man. He's not even gliding over.
They hurt more and more.
Yeah, but he's plumping right on top of the opponent's bodies, man. Like literally, like with no shame.
He's been doing that since. He's been doing that since he's been back in WWE off and on. You know, like
right. And I remember
for like
that.
the past like almost 10 years he's been doing it like that. But he always just. I mean, he was always just a guy that fell off stuff. He's not as athletic as some of these other people that can actually do stuff.
Is he really that athletic when you think about it? He really isn't that athletic.
Well, no. I mean, the Whisper in the Wind was okay, but like other than that, he never really does much other than just fall off stuff. So
right, he's just a spot monkey. Really, he's got his spots, and that's Jeff Hardy. Like really,
that was my gimmick when I was drunk. I just fall off shit.
Jeez, I mean,
could have been Jeff Hardy.
He could have been.
Yeah. So so that was that. But anything else to wrap it up, Jimmy? Any other?
Nah, look, this match, I felt bad. Like watching Matt Hardy really for me was just cringe. He should just retire, man. He's done. And Jeff, at least he had energy in this match. So I'll give him that. Like it felt like he just kept going and going. He just wouldn't stop. Just kept taking a beating and whatnot. And I love the Hardy Boys, but man, I think it's just time to like just, I don't know, become part-timers literally. Like just become like Omos. We hardly ever see him, but if he's ever in a match, they can have
I said it. I said it multiple times, man. Well, I think the Hardys know that the end is near, I just think they keep getting booked. So they're like, okay, but they know it's got to wrap up soon. But I just think like, yeah, the money is in the ambassadorship. Bringing the Hardys to make an appearance.
Or all show them reason to protect them with cinematic stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, absolutely. That works.
Not that I want to see the cinematic stuff, but whatever it is, just let them be legendary figures that don't do anything physical anymore. Just
like 2CW's booking them.
Yeah,
they are. But that's a big deal, though.
They can
but they're coming. They got the Hardy Party. They're not advertising to go out there and kill themselves in a match.
Right.
Well,
people are just happy to see them.
Did you guys know that the vignette, the build up, when they showed things at the compound and all that before the match, that was apparently all done by AI, according to Matt Hardy.
Yes. All right.
Yes, I'm being serious.
I know. Okay, you could be serious all you want. Whether it was AI or whether it was somebody working their ass off, it sucks. So Javon and Leon are not happy with the outcome of this match, even though they just stood at the monitor and watched it. But I mean, in fairness, they did try to cover their bases by saying the Hardys told them not to help.
I guess.
On the other hand, they could have just not said that and had them come and peel 2 members of DarkState off of them so that you could have had a tag team match. But whatever, who cares about that? Never mind. Let's make everybody look stupid. Let's make DarkState look stupider than they already look. Let's make them look stupid by getting beat up by 2 crippled 50-year-olds for like 10 minutes. Let's make let's make Javon and Leon look stupid for not helping their friends while they're getting, double teamed, in a dangerous match with no rules, which is the perfect time to ignore your friend's request and go out there and save them.
I'm sure if the Hardys retained the belts, they wouldn't be that mad at you guys.
No, definitely not.
And then Leon, how about that when they're, hey man, how about we go for the belts? Yeah, you know what? Hold on, I got something else I got to do, but I'll get back to you later about that. Let me worry about this other belt, and I'll get back to you later with this.
And we can always do the classic, I need to do this on my own.
Yeah.
The real quick, just because we got this vignette, I know there's some other ones we're going over. Why are we having these on the PLEs? It should be focused on this special event, not setting up what's coming up. And not even that, but we're spending this time setting up useless matches as like the Fight Club guys going at it. We don't care about that. We're setting up not even Evolve title matches for television shows. We're setting up Evolve women's matches on your PLE. This is just ridiculousness. Cut it out of these PLEs. It takes away from that special feel.
100%. And I just wanted to quickly say, Liz said that it may have been augmented by AI, but Remy posted on TikTok behind the scenes of the footage they did at the compound. Well, I'm just going by what Matt Hardy said, so I don't know what's going on there.
That TikTok was AI. Anyway.
Could have been.
Todd had a funny comment like, let's make everyone look stupid Jones, pal. Actually, that's the character I would play if I did come back to wrestling. Because I would just come out and say everything that they did on TV. I would just say it on a live mic.
And Josh thinks that we need drug testing back in WWE.
I mean, allegedly. Maybe they're just not testing for the right drugs.
Maybe.
So, yeah, Grande Americano sends in a subtitle promo away. Then with the main event is Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints. I just wrote in my notes here, I didn't care. I think this match came on and I went to the bathroom like without pausing. I just whatever. I don't need to see these guys anymore. I've made my full assessment. None of these guys have any more like they've got nothing else to show me. Like I'm done. My final grades are handed in. It's over. So whatever they're going to be, I've already decided. So I don't need to see anymore. But what about you, Jimmy? You already said something about Ricky earlier. I don't imagine you any more on that, but how about Trick? Is he like you feel like he's just spinning his wheels at this point here?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like he's spinning his wheels because I'm getting sick of this character, this version of him. What is he, an idiot? Like he's become a delusional idiot.
Why?
Like straight up, he just complains. He's crying all the time. He's losing to a little dude. Even when we get to the actual NXT now. Again, all that going on was just making me sick. I just felt like he should absolutely annihilate Ricky Saints, Starks, whatever you want to call him. I don't like the fact that Starks or Saints is your NXT champion. And I don't like the fact that he actually beat Trick Williams. It just doesn't, it's not realistic to me. It just isn't. Look how big he is. Trick looks even bigger than ever these days, man. Bring him up to the main roster already. He's been in NXT for way too long at this point.
Rick?
I think there's some the value of what Jimmy's expressing there when it comes to Trick Williams. But before making that leap, we got to have a good spot for him on the red or the blue. Just
that's the problem, and I get that
without a reason because he's going to be just lost in the shuffle there. But I do think with the Trick character, he's facing that breaking point. He's losing everything, and when he thought he had control of, he no longer has that. So he's lashing out at authority, at everything around him, even production we'll talk about. But, he's craving that championship, but hasn't run that course. I think it is time for him to come up. But the bigger question is, where does he fit into that red or blue puzzle? So maybe just some time off, some time away. This match itself, it was fine inside of itself. But again, I not PLE big event quality for a main event. I'm kind of more towards the views with Jimmy with Ricky Saints. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to him in AEW. I know a lot of people thought he was going to be one of those next big breakout stars with MJF that could help carry that company.
Rock.
But I think that it shows that there's a lot more work that he needs, maybe even physical development if he's going to be a player inside of WWE.
Sure. Absolutely. Physical development. He needs to physically get bigger, big time.
You're talking about Ricky?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it ain't gonna happen.
And there's something just missing even in his promo. Like I don't feel like they're genuine. There's not like a big connection with me.
He's fake. You're right. Definitely. But he can do a decent promo if he wants. But I get what you're saying. He's kind of just.
There's a difference with speaking with true emotions and making that connection than just going out there hitting bullet points that sound like you're reading catchphrases and doing your little pose.
I hate that pose too. Right, exactly. No, you're spot on.
Yeah.
Ben?
Yeah, I don't care about Ricky Saints at all. I don't really like there's worse than him, but he's fine here in NXT at this level, but I don't really see much more than that. There will be more than that because he's Cody's friend, so you're going to see it. But other than that, I don't think anybody would really care or would have made the effort to bring him over. Trick, on the other hand, Charles makes a good point. No idea how to meat chop a guy. That's insider terminology, but basically what it means, you guys might know, it's just it's the spots in the match where you're actually brutally beating the guy's ass, whether it's punching, kicking, chopping, actual chopping, or just getting that vicious heat. He doesn't really, that's just his finishing touch. He's got everything else I think he needs at this point, and he's not going to gain any more of it here in NXT. So that's why he does need to go. As far as where does he fit on the main roster, Todd Brantley's asking, well, Carmelo Hayes is a good starting point in the sense of, and the way I would do it is, long before you're ready to actually bring him in, I would just have Carmelo Hayes start name dropping him in terms of like, you know, I didn't have these problems with this, or as like, this reminds me, or he could start some shit and like, this reminds me of Trick, how he was always complaining about shit and trying to get more, bite off more than he could chew and all this other stuff. And I had to check him and just have him, you know, put it in people's minds so that it gets them thinking about it. And like, if they don't know who Trick Williams is, be like, who is this? Look it up, you know, or like go watch what he's doing on NXT or something. And then one day, like, you know, you have Mello complain to Nick Aldis and Nick Aldis introduce him to the new signee that he just signed to SmackDown. And then here comes Trick, and you can do that there. And then you could split him off. Cause really Trick is everything that they want Carmelo Hayes to be. Carmelo Hayes is a cheese sandwich. There's no money there. Trick is there. He could fill the same role that Carmelo has, but he's got a lot more talent and a lot more pizzazz. So he's going to push Carmelo out whenever he eventually gets up there. And that's just the sad reality of it. As far as I see, I could be wrong about that. Anyways, let's wrap this up. Tornado DDT on Trick. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, not believable. Anyways, that's what happened. And then Sarah catches the culling in the parking lot for one last crazy Tatum celebration. So there, I called her Tatum. How about that?
Tune in to Tuesday. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, okay, well, it's Tuesday and it's crazy. So here we are. NXT. Trick storms from the production truck all the way to the ring. Ava has security come out with her. Saints runs out there, starts a brawl, and we get a pull apart, which we immediately cut away from, because who cares? Who cares about this chaos and anarchy? We see this all the time. We need to cut back to a progressive thing showing Axiom and Jasper Troy for their upcoming speed match. Like, let's cut away from this brawl in the arena to a prepared vignette for an upcoming speed match. You guys like this sort of formatting?
Oh yeah, the best. No, that sucked. All right, the whole formatting of the show really sucked. I felt like, actually, with the way shit was done. But
well, I mean, we have an out here. The production team has an out. Trick is telling them not to touch any buttons, not to do their jobs. So I mean, what do you want from the people? They are terrified. We're a week away from Halloween. We don't know what antics Trick is going to pull. There ain't no treats. They just tricks running this show. They're not supposed to press any buttons.
So by them cutting to the vignette, that means they completely disobeyed what he said, doesn't it? So he should go back and kick their asses.
Yeah. Unless it was just out of complete, mistake of fear.
My finger
They were shaking so bad, that they hit that button for this vignette.
Yeah, my hand was slick from the sweat, the flop sweat, and I just
we were probably supposed to get something that was actually entertaining, and good, and would have moved the show along, but they accidentally hit this, so we get this.
Yeah,
you know what I love about you, Rick? You're saying it like as a matter of fact too, like all dead serious.
Yeah, I mean, in a way. So we do get Axiom versus Jasper. Jasper wins with a black hole slam in just under 3 minutes, like every one of these matches has to end. The idea, like Ray made a point when we first started talking about this, like, well, Jasper Troy has to win this whole tournament because he's already dead in the water from how they booked him, and if he can show that at any point somebody can beat him in 3 minutes, then he's absolutely, he's overcooked. It's burnt, So get him out of here, release him.
Oh, is that what you said? Jesus Christ!
What can you do? Like if you're booking, if you got a guy like Jasper Troy and you can do anything you want because this shit ain't real, right? And you say that somebody can beat him in 3 minutes or less, washed. Goodbye. There's no. You're basically showing him the door right there.
Wow. Got a point,
what an indictment of LFG. Anyway. So he does win though with the black hole slam. Sol Ruka actually gives up the speed championship because, well, I saw what happened the last time that somebody tried to defend a belt for me. So I'll just save her the trouble. I guess is that the way, like, I'll save you the trouble of getting your ass kicked or something since I'm your friend. Like, I don't even know what that's supposed to be. That's the other side of this. Like, in the WWE's dumbass mind, when they write these scenarios, they're thinking of like, oh, Sol Ruka's probably disappointed in her friend because she lost the match to Blake Monroe. But at the same time, it's like the alternative was just giving it over. So like, is that better? Your friend at least tried. I wouldn't be mad at my friend if they did me a favor and they didn't get the job done. I'd be like, oh, damn. Well, Maybe next time, friend. I'm not gonna like
Friend?
turn on him when my only other option was to forfeit.
Even
Would you be
especially if the
condescending,
reason
though?
your friend lost was because of you getting her distracted at ringside.
Right.
But even to your point there, like, so I'm going to just I let my friend defend this one. But the speed championship I'll hand over because I don't know, even in my mind, if I'm a competitor, like, you know what, maybe I could just go out there and last 3 minutes and hold on to this thing, where someone can't beat me or pin me.
Again, same thing with Jasper Troy. Can you beat Zarya in 3 minutes?
Right. Yeah. Goodbye. Well, that's the whole thing. And Vet, I do want to say I appreciate, man. You guys don't have a lot to talk about on Monday nights with the Impact Tech, man. I really enjoyed stopped in there, listened to the championship belt conversation.
Oh yeah, thank you
guys
very
talking
much.
about good ones and all. I appreciate you answering my questions there. Go back to that. Great conversation. But you're talking about some of the best titles, worst titles. This entire concept with the Speed Championship is absolutely embarrassing.
I think I mentioned that on Monday.
Good news. Good. I think you did. Good news for Tony Khan. With all your belts, you don't have the worst division in professional wrestling on a main level right now. It belongs now. Why are they highlighting this crap on NXT?
Yeah, I thought it was a Twitter thing only.
Yeah.
Dude, we had 3 championship matches on this show. One was a Speed, one was the Women's Evolve, and a TNA Knockout Championship. None of them had to do anything with NXT here.
Yeah, well, what can you say?
That's true.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like when they did the Speed originally on X, like when they had a champion, that person did not even carry the belt when they appeared on Raw or SmackDown or whatever show they were on. It was like they were ashamed of it.
Right, never.
Like they would even mention like, oh, the Speed champion. It's like, well, where's the belt? So like, how proud of you? Could that have possibly played a part in nobody watching it on social media? Like,
maybe I went away, but let the thing die with the social media thing. But now, because she turns the belt over, we're getting a women's speed tournament on Tuesday night.
Right, which we already had a speed tournament for Sol Ruka to get this belt or whatever. Probably no, we didn't. She actually won it before they. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, this whole thing's stupid. And Zarya's upset that her friend doesn't believe in her, but
well. God, you lost.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know who is next in line for a speed shot. They didn't really say that.
Tony Khan's coming over. He's getting on that speed shot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the culling walks, and then they make their entrance, and then Paxton wants to be a fighting champion, and Izzy wants to talk her out of being a fighting champion. And Paxton's like, nope, I'm doing it. And I brought back the Halloween Havoc wheel, which I'm sure that also went through your mind of stuff we didn't get on Halloween Havoc, Rick. But here's the wheel. They had to have Shotzi ship it back, I guess. And it was 2-day shipping with free Amazon delivery.
Well, you got to print all them nameplates and
it's too much,
man.
Yeah, but you know what name wasn't on the plate? Izzy Dame. Because I'm never gonna fight my friend, my best friend. Yeah,
I predicted the winner though of that. I was thinking who's gonna win it, and bang, it hit.
Yep.
What prize did you win?
Well, if I won Lola Vice, I mean shit. But unfortunately, I didn't.
Nope. Lola Vice won Lola Vice, so she gets a shot later on. Trick is looking for Ricky. Ren can back up Kendall. And then we get Lash Legend versus Kendall Gray for the Evolve title. Oh, Jimmy, you don't like this. Should I hand it over to you?
Bad, dudes. I mean, I never heard of. Well, first of all, I didn't know these two hussies from Evolve until Halloween Havoc was the first time I knew them. Well, it's not too bad.
Lash Legend was not in Evolve.
Not Lash Legend. That's my problem. The other two.
The other two?
And then, I forgot the names. One was Kendall. Who's the other one?
Well, Ren was also from NXT also.
Oh, okay, so she's not from Evolve?
Not really. She may pop in.
Okay,
well Kendall wasn't from Evolve. She went to Evolve. She was in NXT, then she went to Evolve.
Yeah, a lot of people have made this jump around.
Yeah.
You could even see on the wheel, which I thought was funny, because even like Wendy Chu, like they had her listed as an Evolve talent now instead of they're like so are we
Right.
just like people getting
That's
sent back
bad.
to like single A instead of double A now.
Wow.
Yep.
And that's my issue, right? Lash Legend, I mean, she's a killer, bro. Even though, have you guys noticed she's lost a lot of muscle, man? Or was it just me? They've made her become more feminine now, I feel like, compared to what she was, say, a year ago.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I mean, she looked smaller to me. But in saying that, she still should have annihilated this girl. And she didn't.
Do you have
Well,
her,
she did until she
Well-
just completely lost that one move at the end.
But she lost to a nobody, dude. Come on.
A
She should
champion,
be
nobody.
winning a match. I mean, Evolve. Don't get me wrong, that Evolve chick, she looks like she's got something. Obviously, sure, Michael sees something, but I'm sorry.
He saw so much that he sent her to Evolve.
yeah.
Right. I mean, come on, man. Like, so, anyway, the fact that Lash Legend lost this match it irked me bad.
Yeah. Yeah, Rick, what was your assessment of this?
I have no real takeaway from this thing. I guess I could just add to this conversation. I am one of those people that are high on Lash Legend. She is somebody that has that star quality, just that look about her. She should have been she should be the one that's up there paired with the Profits instead of B-Flop.
Oh, God, imagine that.
That's where she should be. So she's ready to move on from this instead of just
She
putting
was
over
ready,
talents.
Absolutely. A long time ago. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, they're just giving B-Fab her due diligence before they cut her.
Get
That's
rid
all.
of that girl and just bring in Lash Legend, man.
They're just clocking hours so it doesn't look so obvious. That's all.
I guess. You're probably right. That's probably true.
Instagram promos from yeah, so Kendall gets her ass beaten, wins, and then maybe the Ren QCC has got 2 people in it now. Instagram promos from Miles and Tavion. Tavion's fishing. Lola and Izzy hug it out. Now we get Tavion Heights versus Miles Bourne. Josh Briggs joins commentary. These guys are working a headlock back and forth, like because they're friends, so they just want to work a headlock. They don't want to punch and kick each other. You know, they're wrestlers. They both have amateur backgrounds. They're trying to wrestle. Headlock story. Not bad as far as headlock stories go. They don't quite know what they're doing, but like it's better than I've seen some people try to do. So they're doing that. And then Miles does a plancha to Josh Briggs when Josh Briggs gets up out of his chair, and he ends up hitting both Josh and Tavion with the plancha. And then Tavion comes in and tries to hit him with his finish, and then he gets cradled up. So, you know, Miles Bourne wins, and then they shake hands and hug it out. And then Briggs and Tavion fight off, and then Trick comes in and blasts Miles Bourne with the chair. And here comes Ricky Saints again. And we get another pull apart, but who cares again? Because Kalani Jordan is doing Stevie Richards Fitness in the back. So we got to cut to that. Not interested in the guys brawling. Let's do the rubber band workout.
We got these guys fighting all over the arena all night. We can't even get like a roaming camera with like a picture-in-picture, to keep this excitement up, when they keep finding each other. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we got to cut to the real breaking news. And that's the chicks with the bands. And
getting a pump.
And Jordan, let me get my squats in while I'm staring at the picture of my opponent there because I'm obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, let's move on. We're we can blast through a lot of the rest of this. Dark packs some entrance. Then we get Canadian contingent discussing the upcoming Gold Rush. Joe Hendry does an Oscar the Grouch coming out of the trash can.
Funny. That was funny. I'll say that.
Right. It was also funny that Ethan Page said he's where he belongs. And then
that's funny as well.
Yeah, and then Thea Hale wheels him away for some reason.
Well, yeah.
Lola Vice versus Dark Paxum. So remember how I made a point to say that the boys, the wrestlers, they worked a headlock, right?
Right.
Well, guess who worked a headlock after that? This match. This why the 90% of Tavion and Miles' match was a headlock, and these girls get in the ring and start working a headlock. Like this is exactly why Rip would always say, don't do your pre-planned bullshit. Just watch the other matches, see what they do, and don't do that. That's what he would preach. That's how we were trained.
What better advice do you want? Right.
And even that, we were like, still, we planned it, what we were going to do. We still said like, okay, we're going to work an arm. And then we'd ask the other guys in the other matches, like, what are you working? Oh, you're working a leg? Okay, fine. Oh, you're working a leg? Okay, well, these guys are working a leg, so don't work the leg. Work something else. Like, we talk about that part. We didn't break down exactly what we were going to do, but we didn't want to repeat. So we still worked it out amongst the whole card, right? And then we would watch the matches as they were going on so that if they ran a spot, we wouldn't just do the same dumb shit. Or if they did do the same dumb shit, and I think Rip was talking about this, recently, either yesterday Monday on the Locker Room or on Friday on his show. But he's saying that if you do the same spot, you change what happens. So like if one move is, if the sunset flip is a finish in one match, now it's a false finish in another match and people will bite on it because they just saw it work. Things like that, right? Instead, it's just headlock. So why are these two women doing headlock? What about, Lola Vice, the striker and MMA grappler, is going to do a pro wrestling headlock? Okay, why? Paxum Tately, the friggin', the weirdo doll chick, like, why would she use a pro wrestling headlock? So it doesn't even make sense why you would do it, but also the other matches did it. So anyways, here comes Fatal Influence and Picture arriving at the building. You're late for work. That's a fine. Then they come out and they beat up Izzy at ringside. So, heat on a heel. And then they jump in the match for a double DQ and the match gets thrown out.
And that's that.
Right.
We should have saved that. I
Sorry,
was saying, one of my favorite parts of karaoke night is when someone gets up there and belts out Stairway to Heaven for 20 minutes, and then the next person gets up there and belts out Stairway to Heaven for 20 minutes. That's the best part about karaoke night. Makes perfect sense here for the headlocks.
I'm sure the people in the Performance Center agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jimmy, I know you like this part. It's bath time with Blake Monroe.
Oh, yes, absolutely. No. Look, I like Mariah May. I hate her name, Blake Monroe. I told you how I feel about that. It comes across as something else. Like she's.
Oh, you know what? Well, yeah, don't go there. Let's talk about this though. There's a guy, like one of those, useless interviewers named Blake Howard, that he was already there. And you know how the WWE has been weird about people having the same name in the company before. And you would think, if it was a name that got over, that would be a problem. But if it's a name you're creating and you've already got a guy with that name or anybody with that name, you wouldn't use it, right?
Absolutely not. Hell no. But here she is.
In a bath. In a bath. And she's going to have her first title defense in New York City. The anonymous... Yeah, there you go. Anonymous account catches Javon and Leon FaceTiming. Oh, their guys they're such good friends. And here comes DarkState. DarkState accuses him of not being bout it.
DarkState, not being bout it.
They're not bowdy and rowdy. And Saquon wants to shoot the ones next week, which I have no idea what that means, but I'm inferring that he means a one-on-one match with. That's cool? That's cool lingo. I'm not. Maybe it's insider. Maybe it's from the street. Shoot the ones.
I'm not privy. I'm not privy to that either.
I think that's an invite for Anonymous to catch those guys in the shower fighting swords.
DarkState in the shower, Blake in the bath. It's like it's a very clean, hygienic show that we've got.
Scrub up this product.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jordan Grace enters. But before we get to that, Kelly asks Soul something about something. Azaria vows to win the Speed title back. She's going to enter that Speed tournament. She's going to win that title back. So she's going to do it the long way.
Well, no, the quick way.
Yeah, well,
Speed. It's got to be.
Yeah, Speed.
Don't
if she has to win 3 matches, that's going to be 9 minutes. If she only had to defend it once, that's 3 minutes. So, but so then Reptilian Britt Baker walks by and tells them to shut up, and they do, and they leave. So awesome baby faces just getting completely punked by a heel. It's great. They leave. All right, so it's Jordan versus Jordan, and guess what we get to start this match, guys? Another headlock series.
Is this the new test of strength sort of deal in the NXT?
I heard if you did a test of strength, they'd walk the fuck out. But apparently, you can do 3 headlock series in a row.
Oh, boy.
Guys, this match had some weirdness in it, some stiffness in it. It had Trick and Rick still fighting into this match.
I wonder if they're
Still
fighting.
fighting. They fought all through this match. Security. Okay. Security and like all the rest of the referees were not enough to break this up. The referee of the match also had to do his part to help out, right? And because of that, Kalani's able to belt Grace in the mug with the belt for the 1, 2, 3. Trick goes through the wall. We never see that ever. Ava makes a last man standing match, but as she's making this match, both men are already back up and fighting, so the wall meant nothing. This was just a brilliant masterpiece, perfect bow on this gift that was an episode of NXT. Rick, I'll go to you first. Tell me everything wrong that I missed here with the last segment.
I see so a lot to dissect here, but the women's match itself, what we get there, so they're telling the story working that knee. And so I did like that, where Jordan is selling that pretty well in it. But then immediately after a big spot where, she misses the springboard up there, she falls backward and gives Kiani the double stomp on her. She immediately comes back up and just lands a perfectly executed jackknife power bomb on her, using all that leg strength to flip around. And then why? If your knee is down, you're a powerhouse like that, Jordan. Why are you trying to go up top to finish this thing off, where you're going to have to use your leg support? Use your upper body strength to put on. Just the logic for her inside of the match itself. And then, as you said, this cluster, everything breaks loose. There's too much going on, overbooked here in the finish. So when you got too much going on, there's nothing that you care about.
Fair call.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's brilliant thing to say. Yeah, this match wasn't, I don't know, man. I couldn't get into it. I just couldn't get into this match at all. By this point, I was zoning out completely. It just wasn't doing it for me. I guess once Starks and Tricks came back out and started fighting again, I was like, wow, they're still fighting. That's about it. But yeah, I don't know. I should have been more into it, I guess, but I can't stand Jordan Grace too, man. I can't stand her just quietly at all. I've just never been a fan of hers in TNA. I'm still not a fan of hers now. I know some part of me thinks that does WWE have buyer's regret, you think, with Jordan Grace a little bit?
They probably did, but they wouldn't have if they knew what they were buying.
Exactly.
They just don't, they probably just go off of buzz and word of mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
Somebody puts a positive word in, and then they just believe it, and then they get to see it. It's the same thing I was saying about,
But is necessarily all the talents here? I mean, you look at some of these talents. Yeah, I mean, they have got some star power written on them. You should be able to do more with them. It's just you don't know how to cook with them. You don't know how to use the ingredients. I don't. I feel terrible looking at talent and say you're not getting it. You're not doing it. They're not giving you shit to work with. How are they supposed to go out there and look that great?
You're right.
It's a case by case basis.
Right.
Like for example, sometimes it is the failing of the creative, and some people are still succeeding because somebody's got to get cheered, right? Like for example, like I don't think that Stephanie's being booked great right now. I mean, as far as the winning part, yeah, but as far as what she actually does on the show, or Julia for that matter, they're just going out there. There's nothing really exciting going on, or not with anybody. It doesn't matter what, or like Jey Uso, they don't know what to do with that. They don't know what to do with anybody. So
with the ladies, the same thing, and I'm saying this with Stephanie, with Julia, putting a title on them and saying, hey, they're workhorses, isn't a character. That isn't a connection. And it's the same reason that Dragunov's going to fail, because they're just slapping a belt on him, saying he's going to go out there and wrestle his best for you. No character, no connection there. That's where they have failed two very talented ladies.
Yeah. So in this case here, like with Jordan, it's like, I mean, you would have known that there's a ceiling for where she's at. She looks interesting, when she's in TNA, and if you look at the roster that they have at the time that she was there, kind of easier to stand out.
Yes,
Here,
it's true.
there's a lot of women that are way better than her already, you know? So yeah, those are the things where it's like WWE they are giving her the wrong advice or creative, like
Advice 100%.
the whole, tell your backstory and try to get people to feel for you and try to cry and, tell your sympathy thing. Like that's what they do when their baby faces are failing. They think the baby face has to start whining and crying and being sympathetic so that the other people in the audience are like, feel sorry for them. But you don't want to feel sorry for a hero. You want to like, they're kind of your hero because they inspire you to be better. Like if this hero's already crying more than you are at home, because you have a shitty job or you're in a failed marriage or, you have deadbeat, kids or parents or whatever the case, whatever's wrong with you. I don't want to turn on wrestling to also see that and get reminded of it. I want to see somebody that's better than me so I can aspire to something. Somebody's supposed to inspire me. Don't tell me your sad story. I've heard it before. I'm living it, whatever. And that's what they always do with Jordan Grace or who else do they do? Lola Vice.
Everybody.
Yeah, they
Lola Vice.
Yeah, because they don't know how to book baby faces. So that's just what we're gonna get. But other than that, even besides that, Jordan Grace sucks. She's dangerous and I don't like her. So whatever, like that's two different complete problems. Like both things can be true. WWE can be failing you. And also at the same time, you can be failing in those moments that are 100% in your control. Like when when that camera's on you and you're in that ring, you have to be undeniable so that when the creative fails you, it's obvious that it's not you. That's where Stephanie's at right now. Stephanie's damn near perfect in the ring. So the fact that her creative right now sucks, they just are like, she's the champ. Okay, that's great. Nowhere to go from here, but that's fine for her. But when she's out there, that's her moment and she doesn't blow it. She made Tiffany Stratton look like somebody in a match. That's something, right?
Absolutely.
So,
for sure.
So that's what I'm saying with, that's the difference. Jordan can't do that in those moments. She doesn't know how to make anybody. She doesn't know how to work. All she knows how to do is spots. All she knows how to do is get her shit in. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't know how to do what the match needs. She doesn't know how to make her opponent. She doesn't know how to do any of that stuff. She's just a fucking indie spot person, And that's where we're at.
I just want to say one thing before we move on. You just mentioned about bad advice that WWE possibly would have given her. I actually agree with that for one reason. Have you noticed how much she's toned down size-wise and just muscular-wise? I think they probably told her, we don't want you, muscly like you were in TNA, just toned down to look like more of a female, right? I think that's a bad move, though, for her, technically, if they gave her that sort of advice, which wouldn't surprise me.
Either that or she decided to get off the juice before her heart exploded.
Well, there's that too. After her husband had 2 friggin' strokes.
I mean, her husband had the same amount of strokes as Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah, and how old? This guy's not even 40 yet, I don't think.
Right. Abdullah's twice his age.
Exactly.
What five times his size.
I was gonna say, but he's just a little guy. Come on.
He's wide though. He's yeah. All right. So anyway, the point is everybody's got some things that they can work on, but I think we've done enough work for today.
Everybody's got hard times.
That's right. This 40th anniversary. So with that being said, let's take it home.
Oh, perfectly put. Well, I'm going to throw it to you guys first, and I'll say it to you, Vic. Tell them what you're doing and what you're up to, man.
I have nothing going on. I hate everyone. Go to the vet.
All right. Well, you can find me at Opinion Haver on all your favorite social media platforms. You can catch me every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern for the Impact Attack with Brandon, where we talk about TNA and how everything sucks over there. You can catch me with Jimmy every Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern for Directage, where we talk about AEW and how everything sucks over there. You can catch Wrestling with Rip Rogers every Friday at their concrete time of 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, where he can tell you how everything sucks. And you can also catch Rip Rogers on this week's Monday Locker Room. where he joined RBV and Ben for a rollicking good time. And you could catch Stevie Richards every Friday. Stevie Richards got the best wrestling show in the business right now. It's better than Raw. It's better than SmackDown. It's better than Dynamite. It's better than everything. Why just watch Stevie Richards' show? It's got better production quality and more wholesome content than anything. So check that out every Friday. Check out Limpin' Ain't Easy with Timmy Baltimore. New episodes maybe every Wednesday-ish. So keep an eye out for that. Subscribe to the channel and click that bell, and you'll know whenever Timmy uploads a new interview or clip or anything, and that'll just about do it. Jimmy?
Oh, nice. Perfect. Well, like I was saying before, go check out I Like a Raw, who myself, Rick was also on, MSG, and the Ayatollah himself, Bin Hamin, also joined us, where we had quite a few good conversations with the man himself. So go check that out. Also, look out for the Smack Attack with myself and Rick, which we also did a few days back, which is also right here on Humming Media Group's YouTube channel. Go check that out as well as Direct Kidge with myself and the vet. But this week, we've got a whole big week of wrestling to cover. We will also be doing the Saturday night's main event review and, of course, the Smack Attack and everything I just said before that. So look out for all those shows. And that's about it. So in saying that, if you want to follow me on the Twitter, you can at the PWC Network. But most importantly, like and subscribe right here on Humming Media Group's YouTube channel. And again, thank you to all that keeps sharing us around and keeps tuning in. We really appreciate it. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. He is R to the B to the V, and he is the best in the world, Jamie the Vet Williams. And you've been listening and watching The Next Level, your NXT wrestling review right here on Humming Media Group's YouTube channel. Until next time, peace.